In today's episode, we are going to talk about spell work and, more importantly, the dangers of spell work. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Hi, and welcome back. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so today I want to talk about spell work. Now, for those light workers that are of Empress, Emperor, High Priestess levels, we already know the dangers with spell work from the dark house energies, the people that are using magic in a very dark way, because we would have all at some point experienced that come towards us to try and stop us, to try and slow us down. I'm not going to focus on that today. We know it's out there, we know it exists, we're doing the work to dispel that, to transmute that. What I want to talk about today is the light workers aspect and the spiritual ascension pathway. And this video comes from a blog that I've actually just written, and I will link that below. But it's really important to openly talk about this, because many of us have worked through or are working through what's known now as the witch wounds. And that it's not all about witchcraft. It's about getting rid of the ancestral imprinting, the DNA that we carry, that keep us playing small, that keep us not speaking our truths, that keep us from taking ownership of who and what we are, the vessel of divine, bringing that light to earth, heaven on earth. We've got generations and generations of persecutions. We've got the Dark Ages. It ran from kind of 500 AD all the way through to 1500s, 1600s. And so we have lifetimes and ancestral lifetimes of clearing these energies. But the one thing that I've noticed is becoming quite prevalent on the light workers pathway is many people are reconnecting with that aspect of their ancestral heritage, and that's brilliant. We shouldn't hold fear. We shouldn't be worried about actually using those aspects of our gifts. But what we need to be mindful of, what we need to be conscious of, is when we are casting a spell, when we are setting an intention, when we are doing a ritual, when we are writing and incanting a blessing, that we do so from a place of purity of heart, purity of soul, and we're doing so not for personal gain. Is there a secondary personal gain if if it involves helping us to get into alignment? Yes, but the sole focus shouldn't be on aligning. The focus should be aligning so that you can be of service. And it's only a play on words, but it carries a massive energetic signature that we want to make sure that we get right this time round. We've had all these generations to learn, and we've obviously gone through and have the imprints. We have this knowledge. What we need to be careful of is that we don't create an imbalance in the natural cosmic magic. We want to keep that in balance. We want to ensure that those incantations, those rituals, those blessings, those spell castings are for the greater good. And this is where we need to be mindful to not be specific. This is where we need to, with our wordings, make sure that we keep it open, that we allow nature, we allow the cosmos, we allow divine to organize the specifics. Those energies see the bigger picture. We're just the vessels. And when we start to be specific, that is when we've gone into the mind, into the ego, and we're not yet fully healed. We're not yet fully in balance. And I put a post out just after the full moon eclipse because I had a visual of holding the sun and the moon. I had the sun in my left hand, the moon in my right hand, obviously the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and I could feel a heaviness still in that divine feminine. And I don't want to exclude men, because men carry divine feminine as well, the same as women carry divine masculine. It's that balance. But because of the way society has been, because we've been living in a patriarchy, there is still that slight imbalance, and we need to get that balance. That imbalance is the healing that is needed. It's an indication that healing is still needed. And yeah, I know it can be tedious. I know we can actually get into the mind and the ego and go, is this ever going to end? Yes, it will end, in the sense that we will get that balance. We are getting that balance. The shifts that occurred from that full moon, the joy that I felt after that full moon, because I felt I felt on a personal level and on a collective level a huge shift in the right direction. And so it brought in so much joy. It brought in so much excitement of the anticipation of what our future can be, how magical a creation, a co-creation that we can start to create. It is an auspicious time, but we still need to emphasize, we still need to remain deeply grounded so that we don't just fly off from the imagination, fly off from the ego. We need to maintain our ability to stay pure of heart, pure of soul, and to remain humble, to remain in the energies that we are just a vessel of divine's bidding. That is not to say that we make ourselves so humble that we do not put ourselves out there, we do not speak our truths, we do not do our work, we do not celebrate ourselves, we do all of that. But let's keep ourselves grounded and know that we are doing the bidding of the divine. Let's not get into their mind, into the head, into the ego, and start being specific. When we cast our spells, when we set those intentions, when we have our rituals, we do it from a place of pure love, pure heart, for the greater good of all. When we're asking for things for ourselves, okay, Spirit, I want to know, I want to know what my next step is. It's not about you. You are involved, absolutely. But ultimately, it's not about you. We're all connected. We're just one little knot in the net of the collective. Let's not forget that. Let's remind ourselves that when we are doing this work, when we are using the tools in our toolbox, to also incorporate the knowledge about balance. What we don't want to do is to be casting spells that ultimately we gain, but then create a karmic cycle, an energetic imprint into the DNA of future generations that they have to work out, that they have to sort through, the same as we have. We want to eradicate that. We want them to be free so that they can co-create for the whole of humanity without having to trudge through the generations, the past generations of mistakes, of egoic karmic cycles. And so, as I said, I will put the blog post in the link for those that are interested. Please, please, please just be really mindful. I'm not saying don't practice magic. What I'm saying is make sure that your magic is aligned to the natural order of the planet, aligned to the natural order of the cosmos, is for the higher good of all, and is just not for personal gain. I have seen so many posts. Yes, I've seen the lots and lots of the dark ass magic that's going on out there, the manipulative magic, because somebody it doesn't, that is work that is being done. It doesn't need, we don't need to focus on that in this video. What I would like the focus to be on is be mindful, be consciously aware that when you're using your gifts in these ways, you are using them for the greater good of all. So it serves the greater good of all, aligned with divine's bidding. Don't get specific. Ask for the information to come through so that you know what steps you need to take so that you can be of greater service, not so that you can personally gain. The personal gain comes as a secondary. If we do divine bidding, then the divine makes sure that we have all the resources at our disposal. We need to learn to trust. If you're finding that you're wanting to cast spells for personal gain, go inwards, find what you're lacking. And I can guarantee you that biggest lack will be trusting the universe, trusting divine, trusting that your essential needs, all your resources will be met, that you have a sense of lack. And it's that sense of lack you need to work on. You cannot skip steps within the spiritual process. If we skip steps, when we go into the new era, we are still going to be co-creating from a place of lack, which will create greed, which is what we have been working to fight against at the moment. Greed and gluttony. These are the aspects that we want to try and eradicate. And I believe we will eradicate them, but we need to be mindful. We need to be consciously aware of what we're doing, our actions. And so I'll leave it at that. If you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and share with your friends. Until the next time, blessings to you all.